You're learning with 9 to 5 English. Business English for the workplace. Hi, Tim here with another 9 to 5 English lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to talk about abilities. There are lots of opportunities at work to talk about your abilities. And I don't just mean job interviews. That's an obvious one. But there's also work planning, project meetings, and just discussing who should do what on a daily basis. I mean, you're not going to ask the person who doesn't have the ability to type to prepare that big report, right? The simplest way to talk about basic abilities is using the words can and be able to. So, you might say, I can type 60 words a minute, or I am able to type 60 words a minute. It's that simple. How about a bit of practice talking about basic abilities? Let's try some examples. Listen to each sentence, then repeat it for yourself. Ready? Let's get started.
I can use the full Microsoft Office suite.
Harriet is able to speak Japanese fairly well.
I'm pretty good at presentations and public speaking.
As you just practiced, you can also say you are good at something, such as presenting or bookkeeping. That means you have the ability in that area. But what if you're really good at something? What if your ability isn't basic, but advanced? In that case, you have a few options. You can say you excel at something, which means you're not just good at it, but excellent at it. Or you can say that some ability is your greatest strength. That expression might be especially useful in a job interview. Let's give these expressions a try. This time, you're talking about things you're very good at. Once again, you're going to repeat the examples after you hear them.
I really excel at website design.
One of my greatest strengths is managing people.
I'm really confident in my sales abilities.
Did you notice that last example? If you say you're confident in some ability, it means you think you're very good at it. Confidence is important, so don't be afraid to express it. But being confident doesn't mean saying you can do everything. There are some abilities you don't have. And how can we talk about things we can't do? Well, that word can't is one way. It's just the opposite of can. And the opposite of be able to is unable to. Let's try these opposite expressions to talk about things you cannot do.
I can't understand this new software.
I'm unable to stay focused during long meetings.
I'm not very good at presentations.
Great work! You now have the ability to talk about things you can and cannot do. But wait a second. How can we talk about past abilities? I mean, what if you were good at something in the past, but can't do it anymore? The simplest way to talk about a past ability is with the word could, which is the past of can. For example, when I was in college, I could learn new words very easily. You can also say you used to be able to. That used to expression is for something that you did in the past, but not now. How about a little practice for talking about past abilities? Repeat the examples after you hear them.
When I lived in Spain, I could speak Spanish fluently.
Quinn was good at Photoshop when he first started here.
I used to be able to work 60 hours a week, but not anymore.
Remember when we talked about being good at something? Well, in the past, it's as easy as saying you were good at it. And it's often helpful to say when you could do something, as you just practiced. Okay. Now, how does talking about abilities sound in a conversation? Let's find out with a short dialogue between Shelley and Andrew. Shelley is asking Andrew about his language abilities.
So tell me, can you speak any foreign languages?
Yes, I'm pretty good at French and German.
I see. And do you know any Spanish?
No, I'm unable to speak Spanish.
As you heard, Andrew is pretty good at French and German, but he's unable to speak Spanish. Pretty simple, right? Now it's your turn to practice. We'll repeat the dialogue, but this time we're going to beep out the second speaker's words. You will have to say those parts yourself. Remember to start by saying that you're pretty good at 2 languages. Then you'll say you are unable to speak another language. Here we go.
So tell me, can you speak any foreign languages? I see. And do you know any Spanish?
All right. That about does it for this lesson. We've learned some great ways to talk about things you can or cannot do. Tune in next time when you'll learn how to ask for and give advice. Until then, so long and happy learning.